Winter. Come on. Winter. Come on. Come on. Yep. You have Polish chicken eggs?
Yes.
You can put it in there. Thank you. Where's Nia to go get the rest of the eggs? I'm gonna go in. Yeah. No, move the chicken. The chickens keep running because they think I have food. Thank you.
We're just trying to be friendly. Now you got the 2 eggs.
Yeah, she gave it to me already. This is Batman, our rooster. We didn't name this one, we just call it White Rooster. That's Black Panther. Tom is our turkey.
Brownie likes.
Is this Runaway or General? One of them. That's a rooster.
That's Runaway.
Runaway. Chubby Cheeker's the big giant one running away right there, the black one. With the long tail feathers.
This is Brownie.
That's Brownie.
She's the slowest one.
Oh yeah.
And this is White Rooster.
That's just White Rooster.
Yeah, White Rooster. But your name shall be, the White Rooster's name shall be Gold Rooster.
Gold Rooster?
Yes.
Okay. So we have about 10 chicken eggs, 2 duck eggs. Put those inside. Thank you. So I have a couple hours before I have to drop my son off, so I thought it would be the perfect day to walk you guys around and introduce you to our animals. I showed you guys a couple of our chickens. We mostly named the roosters because those are 2 batches of chicks mixed together. We originally got some chickens when we first moved. Well, actually, probably 2 weeks before we closed on this house. I think we got them in October 7th, and they lived in our RV with us. So if you're keeping up, we had about 30 chickens living with us in our RV and a Great Pyrenees, probably for 2 weeks before we actually finalized on selling this house. So we have those group of chickens. Within those group of chickens, we ended up with about 14 roosters, and so we did butcher 9 of them, and we did keep, so I think there are 3 or 4 of our original roosters, because all of them were kind, with the exception of probably 1, and so we basically just chose our favorite ones that the kids loved and didn't want to part with, and so we've kept those roosters. We have about, I want to say 40 hens and probably 5 roosters. Normally the ratio to rooster is about 10 hens for 1 rooster. the reason why we have an extra one is because we did, I think, have some hens die, as well as we got an extra rooster when I went to help my friends butcher some chickens. They had an I am Chamani rooster, which is the one that we called Black Panther, and I wanted one of those chickens. They are a specialty breed, so they're all black, black skin, black eyes, black everything. The one that we got is not like considered breed specific because it does have some coloring on its chest, but I didn't care about that. Those chickens cost about $40 to $80 or somewhere like that. So once I did order more spring chickens this year, and once they get big enough, I will portion out some of our roosters in our main flock, and they will go in with the new layers, but that will take some time with getting in those hens and then raising them up. So we've been getting, probably, it's still early in the day. We usually don't collect until it's time for everyone to go to bed. And we've been getting about 11 eggs a day, but it's still winter, and so I don't expect that to go up until it starts getting more daylight hours. So right now, that was from, our Polish chickens are separate, and we got 2 eggs from them, which I just got Polish chickens because they have the big bushy heads and afros, and I just love them. I think they're cute, and so that's why I have them. This black and white chicken right here, I got her because she is a Dominique chicken, and if you are not familiar, my name is Dominique. You can call me Dom, but when I saw that they had a Dominique chicken, I wanted one. So I think I actually have 2 of those. We haven't named our new hens that we got last spring, but there are some hens that my children, or from our original flock, that my children did lay, but mostly we just refer to the roosters because there's less names to remember. I showed you guys on yesterday's vlog that we got a new Great Pyrenees named Winter. Hi! She's actually 8 weeks, exactly 8 weeks. We just got her. Then we have Bucky. Bucky, come here. Bucky. Bucky. What are you eating down there? Well, he has something. Bucky is our Great Pyrenees, our original Great Pyrenees. Hey. Hi, I don't have anything. He is 2 years old. He turned 2 in November. Then we have this white goat right here. Her name is Esther. And then with the white collar is Delilah. We have Lucy, who is the baby of Winona back there. This big black goat, his name is Danny. He's actually a Kiko goat, which is actually considered a meat goat. And then the little boy laying down, his name is Thor. He is a La Mancha buck, but he is about 4 months. Danny we got as a friend from church. Her grandmother raised him. He's about 3 years old, and she just got too old to keep him, so they asked if we wanted him. He was a pet, and right now that is basically who bred all of our female goats. We did see Thor breed one of the white ones, my husband did, but I'm not exactly sure which one. So all of our female goats should be bred by either Danny or Thor. They are different goats, and so if any of our goats come out with half ears, we'll know that Thor is the father. If they come out with full ears, we'll know that Danny is the father. My plan with the goats, Winona is the only one in milk right now, but we're only milking her every other day. And my plan with the goats is to have them for milk production. I am getting ready to separate them because we only have them in this small stall right now because they were breeding, and so I had them in there for 2 months just to make sure that each one of them were bred. And my husband saw, and we've saw a couple, but my husband saw that they should all be bred. So we are going to move them back to the other side of the pasture, which is about, I want to say, a little over an acre which is where the girls usually stay. They're only in here right now because we were trying to get them bred. Right now we are only using milk for our own consumption, but I do want to make goat soap eventually in the future, so that would be really fun. My plan with the babies is if I will try to sell them, but if any males, mostly the males, I will keep the females. If any males do not sell, then I will raise them and for meat. I've never had goat meat, but I've had friends that had goat meat, and if they don't sell, then I will just keep them as a meat source, and then try and butcher them here and see how I like that. I'm willing to try anything one time, as far as butchering an animal, just like we've never had rabbits before, or rabbit meat before, but we're willing to give it a go. And so especially because our goat Danny is a meat specific breed, I think having a dual purpose animal on our homestead would be a benefit. And so that is why we have those goats. So now that you met our goats and our chickens, this is our lone rabbit. His name is Squirrel. We got him from a friend. We do have plans to get 2 more girls and maybe possibly a buck later this week, and we'll start breeding our rabbits. For rabbits, like I already said, we are using, right now we've just been using Squirrel as a pet, and we won't butcher him or the breeding trio that we're gonna get. We will butcher their children, and so someone's coming over to show me that process, and I'm going to be really excited about that because I don't know anything about butchering rabbits, and I've never even tasted rabbits. But one of my goals this year is to have our own rabbit source, meat sources, so rabbit, chicken, and rabbit and chicken, and then like I said, goats if we get any males that don't sell. My initial thing will be to try and sell them, but if they don't sell, then we will raise them for meat as well, and so we would have the goat meat as well. So our ducks, I think we have about 12 ducks. The 4 white ones are considered a meat duck, and then we have a khaki Campbell and a Cayuga duck. I got the meat ducks because I was going to process the meat ducks last year, but then I didn't do too much research before I got them, and then I went to, I think it was Homestead of America, or no, it wasn't. It was the one in Tennessee, Roy Feek's homestead event, and I was talking to some other homesteaders who have processed ducks, and they said about, like, since ducks are waterfowl, something was flying above my head. Since ducks are waterfowl, that you don't process them the same way that you do chickens, that you would have to use like wax or something strong to get their feathers out, just because water does not penetrate their feathers to be able to loosen their feathers, to be able to depulk them. So with that, I'm like, okay, I guess we just have extra ducks. And so we've had those ducks here for almost a whole year, because I think we got them in April, and so it's going on a year. But I had some friends over, and they showed us, or they sent me a video where someone, I will try to link it if I remember, he actually processed meat ducks by you had to, oh my goodness, she scared me. So like I was saying, someone sent me a video that I watched where someone showed processing a meat duck, and they were old. They said it was like 3 or 4 years old, and that it still tasted okay, and they did not have to use wax or any kind of special method. They basically just made sure, kept dunking the duck in hot water until the feathers and the water was able to penetrate the duck's feathers, and loosen them enough to be able to depulk the duck. And so that gave me encouragement that we could end up processing those ducks. And so we have 4 meat ducks that we could possibly process, and then that would leave us down to only 8 ducks that we're just using for eggs. Onyx, No, no, sit. Good boy. Nope, nope, nope. Bucky. Onyx is our German Shepherd. My husband's always wanted a German Shepherd, so when we moved here, he got a German Shepherd. He is actually 15 months old, and he's still a big puppy. This is Hawkeye. I have no idea what kind of dog he is because we got him from a shelter. I actually have one other dog. Her name is Natasha. She stays in my son's room with our livestock guardian dog Bucky during the day, and we were letting her out at night as like a guard dog throughout the night, but she started digging in my garden, and no matter what, she's small, so she can fit through. She had stretched out this part, and so we put this here. Then she started digging underneath here, so we put that there. Then she found another way and started digging through there, and we blocked that. Her new way, she's been digging here, stretching out this fence, stretching out this fence. I had mentioned it in another video, and someone had said that it might be vitamin deficiency, and it must be because I've always used blood meal, bone meal, feather meal inside my garden the whole year we've had her, and she has not dug and got into my garden. But for whatever reason, this last time I had a bag of bone meal that I put on to fertilize my garlic. Actually, I think she was getting in here before that, but the day that I applied bone meal, I left the bag on this bistro table, and I kind of forgot about it, and I came out the next day and it was just ripped all over the place. There's piles right below me of just bone meal, and I thought it was actually the cats, but then when I started seeing all the footprints and stuff, and then I didn't find the bag, and then I ended up finding the bag in a bed, and it had just been ripped to shreds. And my what are they called, like outside kittens, they're not that big for it to be like ripped to like little tiny shreds. And so I'm convinced that it was Natasha that got in and not only dug beds, but she also ate that bag of bone meal and sprinkled it all over throughout my garden, which is unfortunate. And so I have no idea why she's doing it, because like I said, I've always applied these things and she's never decided to dig in my garden, and we've been letting her out at nighttime for the whole year, and she's just started doing this. So it is unfortunate, but so our solution is now, usually we just let the dogs out at nighttime, go potty, and then they'll come back by themselves, or we'll call them back. But now, with the exception of her, we would just let her out with our livestock guardian dog all throughout the night. But now, since she's digging in my garden, it's mostly happening at night, because during the day my kids are out, I'm out in the garden, and so she's not, coming in here. So my son has been leash walking her at nighttime. She has not been happy about it. She actually ate my son's homework, because when she gets upset, she starts eating things. And so that was really funny, because if you're familiar with my dog ate my homework, my son had to write something on the paper, and his dog ate it in half, and so it was a half-eaten paper, and he had to write it on a different sheet of paper and turn it into his professor and say, "My dog ate my homework." And so that was really, really funny. Hi. Anyway, that is all of our animals. So we have 5 dogs now. Oh, I didn't show you our kittens. So, I showed you one. That was who was that one? That was Shadow, our black outside kitten. But we have another kitten. She's usually in my garden, and her name is Marble. I don't see her right now. And then we have 3 inside kittens. We have Fluffo. I've showed him on Instagram because he thinks he is a dog. He's a all black cat, and he's Anaya's cat. Anaya has an all black cat, which is Fluffo, and then that chicken that I said running, named Chubby Cheeker, So that is her rooster. He scares everybody else because he's the biggest rooster and he's all black, and he, you know, does the sidewalk after everybody else, but to her, she just picks him up. And I mean, he's never attacked anybody or anything. He's just like intimidating because he's really big. But that's her rooster, and that is her cat. They're both all black. And then we have Garfield. He's an orange cat, but we never see him during the day, so I wouldn't even be able to show you if I walked in the house, because he hides underneath the sofa until about 10 p.m. and then he comes out when, I think it's when he thinks the children are asleep, because then it gets like quiet in the house, because if I'm out or my husband, he'll come sneaking out. We got him from an animal shelter too. We got other cats from the animal shelter too, but he was older. He was already like, I think a year or two, and so I don't know what happened to him previously, but he's a sketchy kitty. If you move too fast around him, he'll scatter off. And then we have Susan, which is a black and white cat. She's Fluffle's sister, and that is my son's kitten, or cat now, because she's a year, and she sleeps mostly in the room with my son or in the living room. Nael has a fish because when we first moved here, she was scared of every animal that we had. The kittens were like this big, and she was scared of kittens. She was scared of baby chicks. She was scared of everything. And so we even have a hamster. Nehemiah, my middle daughter, has a hamster. She was scared of the hamster, and so but she wanted an animal, and so we got her a fish. So her responsibility is that she feeds her fish every morning. Hey, you can leave it, Nael. Thank you. What are you doing? What you doing, Onyx? You want him to chase you?
Yes.
Nope. No, Onyx. I think Nael wants you to play with her. Call him. So if you're keeping count, that's 12 ducks, probably 40 something chickens, 6 dogs, 5 cats, a hamster, a fish, and a rabbit. And what is that, 6 goats? That is all of our animals here on the homestead. My daughters are calling me now. It is time to drop my son off at baseball. So thank you guys for hanging out with us and meeting our animals. Bye.